Good evening, members of Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is doing good this evening. I'm well rested now after having a couple of rough nights for about 3 days straight. It's been rough. I'm doing a different live feed here uh, in a different location in my house. Got this nice cabinet that it's got lights and everything, and I'm planning on placing minerals and stuff like that on it. So I'm just testing this spot here in the house to see how well it does with the live. You know, thinking about being the future spot, which I still got to do some cleaning behind me because I got other shelves where I have minerals and I can light that up. So, but right now I just got the lights on this, and I'm gonna do this video here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters on YouTube. I hope everybody is having a beautiful evening. Uh, as for me, I'm hanging in there. Let me see. Okay. Okay, I placed it so I can see live chats. So I'm just going to talk to y'all about um, that I'm more rested now, just in case later tonight, because for 3 days straight, there's been a lot of activity happening between like around 2:30 to 3:30, which is the witch and demonic hour. In which last night, for about 3 days straight, there has been a lot of activity, so I'm well rested, um, and I'm ready for whatever happens tonight, spiritually. How you doing, Felicia? How you doing? Um, so, like I said, this shelf is nice. Let me see if I can show it to y'all real quick. I'm gonna flip the camera over. Oh, there we go. Look at that. I just got this today, and that is where I plan to do my lives from now on. If I can, if not, I'll do it where I normally do it in, in my room. But I have so much space that I want to place minerals and all kinds of stuff, and of course I got my other cabinets in the back of me where those have lights also, and I have all kinds of minerals in there. I want to do my lives in a location, even though in my room I have minerals also, where it feels I can feel the energy that's around me spiritually. So, when I do finish everything, plan, like when I'm making the video, the background ones, light them up so y'all can see the cabinets where I have a bunch of mineral specimens, so y'all can witness that. I know my hair is a little bit off. I took my hat on. I left it over, probably on the couch. That's where I left it. But I'm just going to continue to talk about certain things, Oh, thank you for tuning in, Sister Felicia. I was seeing a video uh, of a gentleman that was having problems where he's dealing with sleep paralysis, sleepwalking. I tuned into the video to see, I was asked to tune into it to see what I think. I believe he did have uh, sleep paralysis and sleepwalking, but after hearing everything because of the symptoms and of the events of what he witnessed within the videos, he was talking about um, some kind of goo, black goo that was left behind. Well, I can tell you all this firsthand because I experienced this. But he's actually witnessing the black goo and the slime that's dealing with the succubus and the incubus, in which they always travel together. The succubus and the incubus, and when you're in a sleep paralysis, a stage which you're having dreams, they're going over and over, and sometimes some of those dreams becomes of lust. That's when the succubus, for males, the succubus is draining your spirit, right? in which when you wake up, you might be weak, or they have the ability to as it drains so much out of your spirit that it can literally possess your body, that you're having a dream that you're walking in your house. When you wake up, you're walking like you're sleepwalking. But they have those abilities to do that, as vice versa for incubus. For the women, it does the same thing. That's how they attack. They attack through sleep paralysis, in which you can cause sleepwalking, which is, you could say, like a form of possession, and many things out of the ordinary, like the good that he's talking about. I remember when I was fighting spiritually against the succubus and incubus, because they travel together. When you're in your sleep, you have to train your body to be able to wake up out of that situation, right? Where it's the same dream, because this dream is something that has happened time and time again. So you have to make your spirit strong enough, so when you're in the dream, that you're able to move a finger, move your fingers, move your hands, so you can wake up out of that. I remember there was one evening where I was waking up with, when it's a succubus or incubus, you wake up with marks. You wake up with scratches, bite marks. The bite marks could be, they look like hickeys on your chest, in between your legs, in your thigh, in between your thighs, because you're getting spiritually attacked as you sleep through sin, right? Because they're showing you an image of something lustful. So that's how the succubus is actually hovering over you, draining your energy, and you don't even know it, because you're just stuck in a dream. Um, I remember I trained my body, and I said, if I have the opportunity to wake up while the succubus is draining my energy, I'm going to tie, bind, and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. So it was happening that I was waking up with bite marks, and it looked like hickeys. And one evening, uh, thank you, Chris. Um, there was one evening where I was having the same dream. In this dream, there will be nothing but naked women, right? But that's what the succubus is. That's how she attacks. The succubus or incubus. That's how they attack. They can attack you sexually, but in spirit form, right? That's how they attack you, and in that way. So I ignored all the naked women that were in the dream, and I was able to awaken. When I woke up, my eyes opened up. What I was laying on my back. What I seen hovering over me was the succubus, or some people want to call her the sea witch. She was hovering over me, very ugly from the face, had white hair, but it was in disembodied form, in spirit form. She had her mouth open, or she was sucking my life source, my energy. So as I seen her, I said, I tie, bind, and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name, because I trained myself to, if I woke up, to say that right off the bat. And that's the first thing I said. When I said that to what people call the sea witch, succubus, she dispersed in little particles, like dispersed in little particles. But then outside at my home, I could hear the incubus that was chanting something with her or a familiar. They were both chanting something. So I went into prayer again to get rid of them. Sometimes people see them in their dreams, right, when they're asleep, that they can see something moving in the distance that's black, and it's picking around the corners, and it's picking at them from a distance, and it's trying to get close to them. In the dream, you're trying to wake yourself up, and you can't wake yourself up, and you keep on seeing the movement. But if you were to pay attention, if you were to look to your left or to your right, most likely you'll run into what's really draining your energy, which would be either a succubus or incubus that's right beside you, in which, when you see them, is that they're attached to you, and they're causing you to have all these bad side effects of sleep paralysis, of bad dreams, nightmares, sleepwalking. That's what they do. So it's kind of like when you wake up, you need to go into prayer, and you pray. If there's anything unclean in your home or on you, you tie by the rebuke in Jesus Christ's name to leave you alone, to leave your home. Uh, well, some of the things that I've done that protect me from having bad dreams like in that nature is, for example, I'll give you an example. I have a piece of selenite here and a piece of black tourmaline. A selenite is the closest thing you can get to a guardian angel or to angels to come and assist. When you have selenite in your home, it attracts the angels to come and assist you spiritually, because it has the energy, right? So angels and your guardian angels show up to fight the good fight. And the black tourmaline, it keeps you away from negative energies. The negative energies stay away from you. When I go and investigate, I keep these items and several other items that I keep on me just in case they come in numbers to try to spiritually attack me, that I'm ready for them, right? And of course, through Jesus Christ, everything I do is through Jesus Christ. Uh, that if I have to tie bind and rebuke them in Jesus Christ's name, I will. They flee when you tie bind and rebuke them in Jesus Christ's name. I've seen the story of a young gentleman. That's why I'm talking about this right now, because I remember what I went through. Which, when you go to doctors, you tell them your dreams, you tell them what you're going through. The first thing they're going to want to do is give you medications. They want to give you medications, so you'll be kind of like in a how should I say, like in a coma-like state, zombie-like state with the meds that they give you, in which in that way you're not really able to defend yourself spiritually when you're being spiritually attacked in your dreams, because that medicine is just to keep you groggy in the flesh, but it's when you go to sleep when the problem arises, right? Of the sleep paralysis, of the sea witch, the succubus, incubus, whatever you want to call them. That's when they attack. Um, I keep my house protected, like on my window sills. I got selenite, raw selenite, window sills throughout my house. I keep it protected. There's times when there's unclean spirits. They tried to come into my home and they can't. So they're running. It's protected. So when they try to come in spiritually, right? Boom! You could hear like something hitting the door, hitting the window, because they cannot enter my domain because it's being spiritually protected. I keep it that way. Like here in my living room, I have cabinets of nothing but specimen, but selenite. I have raw selenite. I keep those in the windows, so nothing will be trying to come in through my windows. You know, these measures I found out later on in life. It's something I wouldn't do. When I got shoved off a ridge, and I was black and blue all over my body, that I've seen so many boulders miss my head that I shouldn't be here. But there was a higher power protecting me. When I got shoved by an unseen force, that I came tumbling down. Ever since that day, it's like I started knowing about uh, minerals and all that. That I started knowing what they do. Whether they heal, whether they protect. So I started getting into all that because of the shove that I felt. So telling me to do what I do. But like I always say, my number one thing is Jesus Christ. That's how I fight spiritually, through Jesus Christ, through Him. Um, but I have a lot of specimens in this, especially in this living room, in my bedroom, in my other living room. I have a lot of specimens that my wife, I know she gets tired of me buying stuff, but I have so many that in which I don't need no more. I'm thinking that maybe one day, you know, if my group grows more, that maybe I might bless some of the members, that come and tune in here in Spiritual and Cryptid Encounters. Bless some members with some minerals, or if they're going through something spiritually, if I can assist them, I'll bless them with something that can help them go through what they're going through. I have family members that do have the sleep paralysis problems and the sleepwalking problems, in which I help them out spiritually. I gave them a little bag full of minerals to help them not have those sleep paralysis moments anymore, or sleepwalking moments, or the moments where they can get up and then when they wake up, they still can sense things around them because they're being affected by the sleep paralysis. And they got the minerals in the rooms, and as far as I know, they're doing a lot better. In which the things that were happening to them are not happening no more because I blessed them with the minerals to help them fight the unseen forces. There's a lot of people that do not understand about the balance, that are, that don't understand that there are things for everything that we do, whether we're awake or asleep or whatever, taking a nap. There's always other things around us trying to infiltrate our foundation. I always tell people to always maintain the love foundation, because that's the key of overcoming anything spiritually, as you maintain your love foundation. So if somebody's going to sleep mad, somebody's going to sleep worried about something because something's been bothering them, or they go to sleep um, because they're so tired because they hadn't been getting enough sleep. All those things in that nature, or they've been drinking because they want to get a good night's rest. All those things right there could be spiritual openings. Spiritual openings for when they go to sleep, the unseen goes to work because you're living your foundation vulnerable, and you're leaving your spirit vulnerable for this unseen forces to attack. That's all they attack. You heard it when people say, "Well, I got to get a drink just to relax, so I can't be thinking about this anymore. Let me take a drink. Let me drink a couple of beers before I go to sleep." Drinking a couple of beers or doing whatever is not going to solve the problem of the sleep paralysis, or if you're sleepwalking, or you're getting spiritually attacked by the incubus of succubus. It's going to make matters worse. Because when you fight spiritually, you have to be prepared. So by doing those things, it's actually weakening yourself even more for those things to continue to happen. Uh, Basically, you have to make a spiritual stance against those things that doctors might not understand, because they're not going through it. Uh, where the dreams, you're waking up because you're thinking you're awake from a dream, and then it's another dream, then it's another dream, then it's another dream, then it's another dream, till you finally wake up. When you wake up, you're like freaked out because you woke up so many other times before, but you really wasn't awake. You was in dreamland. Uh, but I don't know about all that because, like I said, I fought the succubus, the incubus. When I make my spiritual stance and I rebuked her in Jesus Christ's name, all the things that were happening to me in that manner stopped. The markings, whether it was scratches on my body, hickey-like things on my neck area, chest area. I was living by myself with raising my son, in between my legs, all those things, scratches on the ankles, uh, all those things that were happening to me ceased because I got tired of it and I made a spiritual stance against them. Uh, like I said, doctors just want to give you something to drug you up. That's not going to help by drugging you up. What helps is that you yourself have to make a spiritual stance and fight it spiritually. You know, even if you have to go into where it's the strongest, where it's the strongest is in the sleep, where you're asleep. you have to fight spiritually in that manner also, while you're asleep. Show them, those things that are trying to keep you bonded, that are causing the chaos of havoc. You have to make a spiritual stance against them. You tie, bind, and rebuke them in Jesus Christ's name, and they will flee. You know, those remind me of kind of like, demons, but they literally suck your life source out of you. That's what they're really doing. All the pictures that you're seeing in the dreams, whether you're seeing naked women, or you're seeing things happening that they're trying to seduce you in your dream, all that is just a how should I say, a mirage, because that's what they want you to think, because they're trying to get the spiritual opening to attack you spiritually. But for anybody that's going through that, you know, I keep a piece of selenite. You can keep black tourmaline, black obsidian, uh, labradorite, uh, citrine, uh, so many other minerals that have the factor of protection, spiritual protection. Let me see. Anybody got any questions? We got Shay. How you doing, Shay? Um, but yes, another thing is the fear factor. You can't be afraid of what's being shown to you, or the appearance that they're taking, in which they like taking scary appearances, when they're looking like a witch, or they're looking like something very dark, something very black, picking around the corner, very ugly, because they want you to be afraid. They want you to believe in what you're seeing is true. That's how they attach themselves to you. So if you can not be afraid of that and take authority over it in Jesus Christ's name, then they have no jurisdiction over you. I'm going to share a story with y'all. True story. My neighbors where I used to live. In the area, I found out that that area where I used to live used to be like a native Indian burial ground, right? So out of the woods at night, I would see this dark shadow figures roaming the park. And I always kept my house protected, but then I would see that they would pass by my house, and there was literally going into the other homes, the mobile homes that were around me. They were going into the walls, right? So what were they doing? If you think of succubus or incubus, they were literally going in there and draining the people's energy, right? While they slept. So I noticed this for about 2 or 3 days, and I went to go speak to my neighbors, because I had already been through that spiritual battle. So I went to go tell them what I was witnessing, that I was worried about them, that if I could bless their homes, and to protect their homes. So I went to like all the neighbors that have seen these things going through the walls, right? Uh, I, uh, I told them what I seen, but they didn't. I guess they didn't believe in those kind of things happening, so they put a complaint on me, right? That I was scaring them because of certain things that I was seeing. So they told me not to bother my neighbors or let them know nothing about anything. So I say, okay, I won't say nothing to anybody anymore. What happened? All these neighbors that I was trying to help. This what happened within a matter of, I would say, 2 months. Each person that I tried to warn, they were all found dead in their homes. Every single one of them. The neighbor behind me was German. The neighbor left to me that behind me was a Korean. There was a man in a little RV. There was a Philippine lady, and another Oriental lady up the street, and another white male that lived another block down. All of them had one thing in common when they were found dead, and it was this: that they were all found dead in their bed. Every single one of them, except one. One was found dead on the recliner in the living room. Like I said, succubus and incubuses. That's what they do. They'll drain your life source, especially if there's a spiritual opening. Um, you could say they're a form of soul collectors. You know that they drain the life source to get rid of the host. So I lost that many neighbors, you know, and it was real hot and heavy in that area. That I'm just glad that I moved out of there because of what I was witnessing. Imagine you're wide awake. You're not even in asleep. That you're wide awake and you're seeing somebody looking through the gap of the door. A little gap of the door. You see an eye looking at you. Like, I wonder who that is. So you open your bedroom door to see who it is, and you see somebody going around your dish cabinets, right? And as you go around to look, your sliding door is closing, and there's something standing on the other side of the sliding door that looks like the sea witch or succubus looking at me on the other side. So I'll go to find out and open up the sliding door. By the time I open the sliding door, it's already on the ground, gliding towards the park, which is it don't even have no feet. It's just like literally gliding off the ground, around this much off the ground, just gliding in air. So as you're trying to chase it down towards the park, and you're trying to say, identify yourself, that it literally goes into the tree and hides. So you're still going into prayer. You say, identify yourself, and then it jumps from one tree to another tree, and then he flees. Especially when you bring Jesus Christ in the picture. I witnessed those things. Um, People that were close to me, that they knew me, they witnessed it for themselves. Because I would say, I don't think you're the story of you, these things that are here where you live, that they're real, that it's all up here on you. And so I got to see it to believe it, right? That's what they say. I got to see it to believe it. So I take them there to the location, and sure enough, they witness it. When they witness it, some of them get spiritually attacked by them because that's what they do. And they see they have a spiritual opening, they would attack that individual. So there I go. I'm already protected my foundation through a love foundation, and I have to protect the people that are being spiritually attacked by these unseen forces, and rebuke them to leave them alone. Once after they go through that experience, it's like they take off and they never come back because they don't want to know, they don't want to deal with what's in that location. You know, there's a lot of people that could say, "Oh, Brother Abe is he's not saying the truth." I say, well, like I always tell people, I've had an open challenge to that area ever since I made Dogman Encounters 53. I've had an open that I would show people where this location is, but at nighttime is when it's the worst. Daytime there's activity that happens, but nighttime activity is like a lot worse. That I wouldn't even send my worst enemy in there because I know what could happen to them, because of what I've witnessed and experienced. Well, that's good, Shay Shay, that you took authority over them and showed them no fear, because that's how they normally work, is through fear, or if they try to be through lust in your dreams. That's how they attack, right? That's how they how should I say, take advantage of you while you're asleep. Um, but you gotta have to take authority, protect your home. Uh, you could place crosses in your windows, on your doorways, or upon yourself when you go to sleep. So if something surfaces up, it can get to you because you're being spiritually protected. You know, you have to take those measures when you're fighting something that's unseen like that. Um, but yes, it's not a good feeling. No, it's kind of like if somebody's trying to come at you in a physical way, at least you can defend yourself physically, right? But imagine something coming at you in a spiritual way where you're asleep, where you can defend yourself, you know, because your spirit is roaming around in the dream world and all these things are being shown to you, but your body's left alone. While your body is left alone, that's when they attack the body when it's left unsecured, right? They go try to drain the energy out of the body. Well, they're how should I say? They're keeping you busy through the dream state by all the things that they're showing you, where they're taking you in your sleep. So that's when they decide to attack your body. Oh, that was my son that just passed by me, behind me. He's winning some stuff. If y'all see in spiritual and cryptid encounters, I got a picture of a young boy sitting that's got like a grayish shirt and sitting on top of my truck back then from years back. Well, that boy was my son, you know, in which this unseen, should I say, shadow beings, you know, succubus, incubus, they were formed themselves, trying to show themselves to him when he was young, because they were trying to get a grasp of him spiritually, and that's why I came in the picture and I intervened, and I still do, you know, I still do even now, where you know I've witnessed where they try to come in because they're trying to attach themselves, you know, spiritually to him. So I tie, bind, and rebuke them and send them away. So I always tell them, if you're going through something that you don't understand, you can count on me. You know, let me know what you're going through, and we'll pray. Pray against it. You know, prayer is very important. You know, there's a lot of people that forget to pray. You could see something happen, somebody get killed or an accident, and because of that, you know, people forget to pray. You know, prayer is very important. No difference than when you're fighting in the dream state, sleep paralysis. When you wake up, it's very important you pray against what's being shown to you or what was being done to you, that was making you feel dirty, or it was making you feel like uh, you belong on the other side of the balance. You know, you type by name, rebuke that in Jesus Christ's name, not give no power to that. Because if you don't do that, then you know it's planting little negative seeds on you to make you have like some kind of guilt trip of some sort. You know, and that's how it slowly but slowly starts bonding you. You know, and getting a stronger grasp over you. And what they like to do is the people that you care about or your loved ones, they try to get them to come up against you, right? Which they enter them to do something bad to you. So then you're left all by yourself. And that's how what they do. They like to take advantage of people that stand alone, right? That the people that think that nobody cares about them, that nobody loves them, or whatever they're going through in their lives. They think that nobody cares about them, so that's even a bigger stronghold they have over them. I just want people to understand here, whoever's you're viewing, that you are somebody important. It's just sometimes when you don't have that understanding to what you're going through, how to be able to overcome it. Well, I'm giving you the recipe. The recipe is you're never alone. Jesus Christ is with you. If you can train your spirit to fight spiritually through Jesus Christ, whether you practice and practice and practice and practice and practice, then it becomes first in nature, in which you're able to react that way spiritually or physically, you know, and that's how you overcome those unseen forces. What are the openings that people might have that they use, right? That's what I wanted to talk about. Spiritual openings that people might use might be, for example, maybe going through a breakup. They're separated from their boyfriend, girlfriend, or from the wife or husband. That could be a spiritual opening. Uh, Somebody that's living with anger and hatred, or vengeance, or unforgiveness. That can be a spiritual opening they can use to attack you. Um, and then, of course, once they got you by yourself, thinking that nobody in the world don't care about you, that's another stronghold that they use. They keep on coming at you, showing themselves, and that the sleep paralysis in a distance that you're able to see, one, maybe two, lurking around, looking at you. For the fear factor, fear is another spiritual opening. And then when it happens to you so many times over and over and over, you start believing of what you're seeing is something real, right? Belief is another spiritual opening it can use to come up against you. So if you take away the belief, the fear, the unforgiveness, um, anything that you're giving it power over you, if you can take that away, then you're able to overcome what we call the sea witch, the succubus or incubus. You're able to overcome them if you play Jesus Christ first. You're able to overcome them, but it's got to be something within you that's what you want to do through a love foundation. Because when you fight spiritually, if you think when I will fight spiritually, I guess I'm gonna go automatically into prayer. I'll say the Our Father, or I will say I type on the rebuke in Jesus Christ's name. You have no authority here. I type on the rebuke, leave, be gone. I take authority over to leave. Whether I was fighting in the sleep paralysis, or I'm awake and I'm still sensing the things that are around me that were in this. I could sense them around me, so I would type and rebuke them and send them away. I would call upon the heavenly angels to do a clean sweep of my immediate love foundation and my household. Send it away. How do you know when an unclean spirit, such as a succubus, incubus, demonic, whatever you want to label them, are injured because you're fighting spiritually? Sometimes they'll leave a trace, whether it's the trace, one of the traces they leave, but that's when they're coming in and out of reality, is this black stain. It smells like real nasty, like a sludge. That's where they're manifesting, and then they disappear and manifest somewhere else. So if you're finding those kind of smudges, it's because that unclean spirit is appearing and disappearing. But when the spirit is injured, because you injured it through a spiritual battle, they'll leave smudges of blood. Believe it or not, a smudges of blood. Where do they leave them? Well, spirits fly, right? They're flying around in spirit form. I've ran into where the smudges of blood are on the ceiling fans, like on the light fixtures. You can see like drips of it, where they're roaming around, flying around because they're trying to hide because you're fighting them spiritually. Sometimes you see it on the walls, smudges of blood on the walls. You see it in the pictures that you have within your household because they're trying to hide. A picture is an image, so they try to hide within the picture. Or if you have fruit, they can hide in fruit in which the fruit will rot. I've seen it where a grapefruit turned big and there was nothing but blood in the grapefruit. Or if there is family members that you did not protect before going into prayer and fighting them, they're liable to go into them to hide. So that spiritual battle is very real. I've witnessed it and I've seen it. And like I said, doctors, they just want to get somebody a pill to give them temporary relief of, but the pill, it only sedates a person, in which the same things are going to be happening to the individual until they make a spiritual stance against it. That's the key. You have to make a spiritual stance against it to show that you're not afraid of it, that you're not allowing it, and for it to leave you alone. You have to make a spiritual stance. Uh, Blessing your home, cleansing your home is a big part. When you bless and cleanse your home, it's very important because you're protecting your home when you do that, in which it will be even harder for the succubus, the incubus, to come in and try to infiltrate in your dreams. What they try to do, though, is when you're protecting your home, they try to lure you out of your home. For example, you'll hear. Let me read this question here. Somebody said something right now. Oh, they retracted the message. It was Randy. I give an example. You've done the measures and everything. You're protected. You've been training yourself spiritually to fight spiritually. Then all of a sudden they try to use a different strategy, in which they'll try to lure you outside, in which you're in your room. You hear somebody tap on the window. Maybe it'll be a knock on the window, or maybe it'll be a banging sound on the window like somebody's outside. And you say to yourself, oh, it's just my imagination. Then you hear little kids laughing outside at 3 something in the morning, in which that's not little kids. That's like demonic hour. They're trying to lure you to go outside. You could hear women laughing or women crying for help. And they do all that to try to lure you outside of your home that you have blessed and protected, so nothing will be able to come in. So their strategy is try to lure you out by causing those things to happen. Try to lure you out of your home. But when you do go outside, if you do ever go outside, it's place a heavenly cross on your forehead. Pray to the Heavenly Father. You pray when you go outside, and you can pray for nothing to go in your home. When you come back inside, pray for nothing to follow you inside your home. Or if there's anything to try to attach itself to you, tell it it's not welcome inside your home. You have to take authority over them in that nature. Jesus is always with me, day or night. It doesn't matter. Uh, I said I've been through a lot of spiritual warfare, warlocks, witches, voodoo priestess, uh, people that are part of like the Masons and stuff like that. All throughout my life, I've battled spiritually to know that so long we place Jesus Christ first, we're able to overcome anybody that is part of any kind of cults, organizations that believe in something else. Uh, they're following orders for something else. Through Jesus Christ, as you place Him first, we're able to overcome all that. You know, there is a lot of people in this world that they done sold. You could say their souls for power, for money, um, allegiance, or whatever their promise. But I feel that they've been deceived. When they think they have some kind of power, they're really being deceived, because the power they think they might have is not even them. The power they think they have is actually the unseen forces that are around them, making them think they have power. So it's kind of like they've thought they've gained something, but the only thing they've gained is a used car from the lemon lot, because they're being deceived. If if the man that was possessed had the legion, Settle down. Settle down. If the man that was possessed had the legion, and the legion knew who Jesus Christ was, they didn't want to go back to where they came from, so they pleaded to Jesus Christ to send him into the swine, into the herd of pigs, in which he did. When in that nature, uh, the same forces that the people are believing in of the one third that has fallen, which includes the whole one third, they're believing they're getting some kind of deal or some kind of power. They're really not. The power of them being children of God is a lot greater, because that power is through the spiritual gift of discernment. It's our destiny, right? It's written that for us to ascend into the kingdom of heaven. So, in all seriousness, a lot of people are being deceived. That they have some kind of power. Read this book, and it's going to give you this. It's going to give you this knowledge. But all it is doing is just falling into the hands of the enemy. They're being deceived deeper and deeper and deeper. I've run into the sisterhood, the brotherhood, which is witches, warlocks, where they're united as one, whether they're 12, 14, 16, that they think, they laugh because they think they're in a high pedestal because of the powers they think that they possess or obtain. So they're laughing uh, in a wicked way. Not that they're happy, but wicked in a wicked way. But if they only knew that they do not have the power that they think they have, especially when somebody's being protected through Jesus Christ, that already know what the outcome is going to be when I face something like that, or some people in that nature, is if I place Jesus Christ first and He's my avenger, anything that's coming up against me in a negative way will be handled spiritually. I know all I have to say is for those people that think they have power. All I have to say is I type on the rebuke of Jesus Christ's name. When the demons flee, the powers flee, because that's who's causing for them to think they have power, is the demons that are around them, that are bonding them, pumping them up. They're actually deceiving them, and it's sad. It's sad because a lot of these people, they have sicknesses, they have illnesses, but it's because they're doing it to themselves. They try to do harm to people that are being protected by the Heavenly Father, and whatever they try to do through witchcraft or necromancy, it goes back to the sender. And they wind up being in worse shape than what they already were, in which they get ill. Due to the plagues that are written within the Bible. That's what happens to them. Let me see what Brother Randy says. Well, Brother Randy, that's how it happens sometimes. I mean, I don't know what are the things that you're saying to her. Either you're saying things to her that's upsetting her, or maybe there's things of unhappiness that's within y'all's relationship that y'all need to figure it out. What that is. That happiness could be a spiritual opening that should come at you in a negative way. It happens to all of us. Women and men do not think the same way. So I could say something that I'm meaning something a certain way. When it goes to her mind, she's thinking I'm coming at her in a negative way. But if that's not the case, it's just a miscommunication. There's miscommunications. But there is relationships where the man wants to be in charge and what he says goes. And there's relationships where the woman wants to be in charge and what she says goes. That honestly is not a relationship. If people cannot be who they are Did they have to pretend that they're somebody else? Well, that's not a real relationship. No, it's got to be out of respect and a mutual relationship where you love the person that you're with for who they are, and vice versa. They're going to love you for who you are. At the same time, if you need change of who you are to make the relationship stronger, and vice versa. She might know if she has some faults that she needs to change in order for the relationship to become stronger, you know. But I would say to you to maintain your love foundation, if there's an argument, say, I love you, and mean it from the bottom of your heart. And most likely you'll get the response back from her also that she's going to tell you, I love you too. All right. Love breaks a lot of things. When you say, I love you, God bless you. I've been in situations where there's been people that's being infiltrated, that they might be on a bad road, and what's talking to me through them is an unclean spirit. And the unclean spirit is mocking me, thinking that I know that they're infiltrating the person that they're using to come up against me. So I'm looking at them, and then I'll tell them, God bless you. Or I say, I love you. When I say that, the unclean spirit takes off out of the person becomes normal. So you really have to be in tune spiritually, have a relationship with the spiritual, Jesus Christ, that He blessed with the spiritual gift of discernment to be able to decipher what you're dealing with. It's happened to me numerous times in the nature. I could be eating at a restaurant, right? I could be eating at a restaurant. I haven't even touched my food, and as I look up, there could have been a empty chair and an empty table. As I look, there's a woman of African American origin at a Mexican restaurant, right? She's sitting there looking straight at me, with her eyes rolled back white. That she got sent there to fight against me spiritually. So I look at this individual with her eyes that are white, and I say, God bless you. When I look down to take a bite of my food and I look up, they're gone. But that's how it works. You have to be spiritual ready at all times to fight the unseen forces that come up against us on a daily basis that challenge us spiritually. We have to be ready. You're welcome, Brother Randy. That's what that's about. I've seen the old ways where the men say we provide, and we say goes. Settle down, rebel. The old ways where they say the old ways where the men sit down on the table first. The men eat first. What the man say goes. I seen that, and to me, that's just a machismo thing. That's not the way it's supposed to be, especially where there's love. Um, I'm not seeing where men get played also, where there's women that have full control of them, uh, the hard working money. They got the credit cards and they got everything, and that's not the way it's supposed to be either. It's supposed to be a 50-50 thing. It's not about I did this for you. Now you owe me this much of money. If you're in a relationship because of the money or tithe, then that's not a relationship. You got to be in the relationship uh, by knowing that individual who they are, and they know who you are. I allow them to be who they want, how they want to be, and they allow me to do the works that I do. You know, they don't see me different. They allow me to be me. You know, that's the way it should be. And it's very hard to find somebody in that nature in this world to let you be you. I've seen it. I've seen it where people are unhappy in their relationships and their marriages because either the husband has cheated on them so many times, or The wives have cheated on him so many times, and he's just going back and forth with the same old thing because you did me wrong this day, I'm going to do you wrong this day, and he just goes back and forth, back and forth. Is it really happening? No. I remember I seen a woman that she said was married for 60, I mean, no, 59 years. She was getting divorced. And I asked her what happened. I said, well, he left me for a younger woman. And then I told her, well, since you were married to him and if he was military, you get more than half of everything that he owns. And then she went from crying to being happy. And said, I never thought about it that way. So she knew that she was going to take him, for whatever he put it through. She was going to get what belongs to her. But in that nature, when we all cross over, nobody belongs to nobody. We all belong to the Heavenly Father. For those who believe in Him, that's who we belong to. Yeah, but when there's arguing and people are playing games, that gets old. That gets old. It's like playing a violin that's out of tune. That gets old. They're like, oh, here we go again. The neighbors are fighting. He came drunk and he came with lipstick on his face and hair of females on him. They'll be arguing for that day or 2 days, 3 days, or maybe the week. And next thing you know, he's bringing her flowers and he's telling her, I'm sorry, baby. You're the only one. There's nobody else, but he done cheated on her. Is that really love? To me, that's just people wasting their time. It's like, what, you done say, set up a calendar, have a track record of how many times a guy cheated. It's like, hey, the more time you waste in a relationship like that is wasted time. Just move on forward. Move on forward and find somebody that's worthy of accepting you for who you are, and vice versa. Instead of somebody that's playing the games, that's playing a game with you. Well, there's when you said poke. I don't know if you meaning poke, as in when you poke somebody to respond on how they're doing or whatever. I don't understand. But yeah, Larry, if you have your Randy, if you have your significant other, right? If you have your significant other, well, there should be no talking about poke with anybody. It should be the focus should be between both of y'all. Like when I make the spiritual lives, I'll talk to whoever pops up and say something to me. I'll talk in that manner to whatever is being said or what the topic is. But yeah, when you're poking at each other, and it's a shame that maybe you're poking somebody, but the people that you're poking are fake profiles. There's a lot of fake woman profiles on Facebook, on Instagram, where it's not even real people. They're all computerized. They're all bots. So if she's getting mad over somebody that most likely, even if you had all the money in the world, that really wouldn't be with you, then she's getting mad over something that's not real. That's like a bot, But yes, that's called you could say, in some kind of way, temptation. It's boosting your ego, Randy. That this person is poking you back, and you're poking them, going back and forth, thinking that it's a real person. But what if it's not a real person? What if it's just a fake profile? Does that make sense to you? Who's going to be there in the long run for you? A fake profile or the person that you're in love with, that you love? Whether she's your girlfriend or wife. But I could see how she could be upset over that. Let me see what we got. A Truth to Rusi here. Uh, she says, I've been married for 45 years and we love each other and each other emotionally attached to each other. Amen. Truth to Ruthie. Amen. Yeah, it's sometimes like here in the state of Texas, you know, you'll be at a restaurant and the waitress could say to you, "Will that is will that be everything, babe?" Or you know, but they're not talking to you like they like you. They're just being polite, you know, because they're trying to get that extra money on the tip or something, right? But some people take it the wrong way, you know. They get to tell you cutie pie, uh, handsome, or something of that nature. But all they're trying to do is to make that extra tip money. So when you pay for the meal, you give them like a $5, $10. Some people, you know, I guess they get compliments so well they give a 20 to 40, $50 bill. You know, a $50 bill up to $100. You know, if they got the money because they give them a nice, polite gesture. But there's people they take it to the fullest, to the furthest. You know, thinking to tell them that because they want to go out on a date with them or something. That's what we're supposed to do. It's not worry about the then. It's about a worry about the now. Was has happened in the past. You can't do nothing to change about it, but you can change something in the present, which is the now, to make you a better person, to be able to forgive people that come up against you in a negative way, or vice versa. If you're gonna get somebody new, you can ask God for forgiveness to forgive you. But the most important thing of all that is not to make the same mistakes, not to dwell in negativity, to dwell in positivity. Yes, it's a lot better feeling when you dwell in positivity than just focus on negativity. It changes everything, your personality in a positive way, in which it's just an awesome feeling to feel that you're walking a straight line, that you're not dwelling in negativity or trying to start problems with anybody in any kind of sense of way. The enemy could be right in front of you, and you're walking in air. That you'll tell the enemy or the spiritual enemy that's working through somebody, "God bless you, I love you," and it flees. It becomes first to nature. Boom, 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 and that's what you know what to do. It becomes first to nature. I've been in a situation where there was this kid where I used to live. He would come play basketball with my nephews. He was already like 16. And I guess he started hanging with the wrong crowd. He came to my house one day and he was telling me there was in trouble, that he owed some people some money because there was money that went up missing. So I figured he was on the wrong road. And I said, "Look, I don't got no money to give you, but if you want to, I can talk to these people. Maybe you can buy more time for you to be able to pay them what they owe them." And he said, "No, I can't do that because they already know where I live. They know about my mother and my brothers, right? My brother." So I didn't see him anymore. I don't know what happened to him. Then one day, I seen him riding around in the black truck. He's I think 17 at the time, and I'm inside the pool. Well, I'm sitting on the lawn chairs, and my son is in the pool swimming. I hear the gate open. Is that the young man with two other guys? They all come and stand right in front of me. They tell me the Puerto Rican guy. He tells me, guess what he tells me? He looks at me and he tells me, I can kill you right now. There's nothing that anybody can do about it. And I ask him, with the Love Foundation, I ask him, why would you say that to me? I'm your friend. Then he tells me again, right? That he could kill me right there and then there's nothing nobody can do about it. And they're all laughing. He's laughing. The other two guys are laughing. So, in that sense of way, I'm military, prior military. I could have gone a whole different way with that. But I chose to maintain my Love Foundation. And I'll tell him, again, use the things out of love. He said, look, man, so I know your brother, I know your mother, they're good peoples. Why would you say that to me? I'm your friend. Then he looks at those guys that are with him and he said, let's go, let's get out of here. They're looking at me, but they leave. They leave. Following day, right? He's in jail. Well, the truck that he was driving belonged to a couple that they had kidnapped and tortured and burned. They were driving that couple's truck, and there was two strippers that they had killed and buried out in the open field. Basically, what I'm saying, when he came to me, they had already murdered four people. They had murdered four people. But he went up. They gave him like 75 years in prison or something like that. The other guys, I don't know what they did to him, but they said they were scared when they were, even when they were there. What they were saying, what he was saying to me, that he was scared, that they were scared for their life, that they were afraid that they were going to die because he was making them do those things. Whatever the case it was. So all I know is this young man was being infiltrated by unseen forces that made him do this because he was following orders from the people that he was working for. In this instance, when when I maintained my Love Foundation, I overcame was the, how should I say, the unseen force that was in him that had killed those four people. He couldn't do nothing because I wasn't giving it uh, the opportunity, because I didn't have no fear. I wasn't angry. I'm until my Love Foundation. So they had to leave because was within the young man, I believe, that something really made him do it. Uh, that the unclean spirit that was in him took him from where I was at, because if I would have used my Love Foundation more, like for example, say, God bless you, I love you, go into prayer, or say, I type bind and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name, that it was completely going to leave the young man alone. But the damage was already done. That happened in Killeen, Texas. There's been a lot of activity happening around here in my home ever since the day of the eclipse. For 3 days now, things have been happening in a certain time frame at nighttime. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait till later on. See if the same things transpire again, we'll go live. I don't know if I'm going to go live here or I'm going to go live on my spiritual and Cryptid Encounters site, but I'm going to go live. Or if I'm going to go live on my main Facebook, I don't know where, but if I do go live, I'm going to try to record record what's happening outside of my home. There was a lot of disruption last night. Um, where you want to call them lechuzas, which is big owls. In Spanish folklore, they're called lechuzas, which are or witches. 3 days straight now. There's been a lot of activity between. It starts like around 2:30, 2:45, all the way to 3 in the morning, past 3. So if that happens again, this time I will go outside and I will record and I will fight spiritually. So in saying that, I just want to say thank you. I've been going for an hour. I don't even know what time it's 10:08. I've been going for an hour strong. I want to say thank you all for tuning in here tonight. Uh, Brother Randy, I hope everything goes well for you and your girlfriend. You need to stop joking around about the Pope jokes and all that, or stop joking around with other women. Focus on your wife. I'm more sure she loves you if she's getting upset of the things that you're doing. You know, it's something you should buy her some flowers and say, "Hey, I'm sorry for being an a-hole. Excuse my French." Um, because you know it's not good that you disrespect your girlfriend or wife in that manner. You know, the relationship should be about respect towards one another. And by you doing that kind of thing, she's seeing it. That's not right, man. I'm just letting you know it's not right being disrespectful like that. Thank you, JJ. JJ. Yeah, I was talking to Randy. Is there any questions that anybody would like me to answer for y'all of what I just spoke about this past hour? Whether it's dealing with the succubus, the incubus, uh, sleep paralysis, sleepwalking, or anything that I spoke of. If anybody wants to say anything, you're more than welcome to speak about it right now. Um, I'm still trying to figure out this Facebook, or should I say this YouTube channel. Um, I figure there'll be a lot more people viewing, but I know there's a lot of other podcasts going on and stuff like that, which is understandable. And when I pop up, I don't give anybody a heads up. I just pop up at it out of nowhere. I do that for a reason, because you might never know that something might happen. If I have a certain time frame and I can make the time, then I'm gonna look bad in that nature. So I just pop up, and I'll just make a live feed, whether it's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. That's what I do. But anyways, thank y'all for tuning in. God bless every single one of y'all. Just like I got Spiritual Encrypted Encounters here on YouTube, I have Spiritual Encrypted Encounters on Facebook. I got a group called Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. You're more welcome to join. And I have a TikTok under APCS where I create short reels of the lives that I do when I go and investigate. I have a lot of short reels, and I have what I call the disembodied demonic Nephilim, which they're in spirit form, and I've captured a lot of short reels in that nature, and of course screenshots and images of them when they manifest. But I just want to say thank you all for tuning in, and the only thing I can say is this, because sometimes I don't know if I'm talking to genuine people, real people, or if I'm just talking to somebody that's just trolling. The only thing I can say is this: wherever you're tuning in, is be you. Be how you want to be, how you expect people to treat you. Be you. However you want somebody to treat you, that's how you should treat people. However you treat them, you should accept the same back, however you treat people. There is a spiritual war that's happening. I'm going through it right now, and I stand alone. I wish that some of the people that I used to have on my friends list could be my friends again, but I can have them fighting the spiritual warfare with me because they have spiritual openings, because they like to argue, they like drama, and they're just going back and forth with people. I can't have you as an ally fight beside me if you have a spiritual opening because something can happen to you. So right now, as I speak, I'm standing alone spiritually, fighting the spiritual fight that I'm going through right now. Uh, and that's the way it's got to be. Uh, Sometimes that's the way it is when you're fighting spiritually. Uh, if the persons around you are not ready to fight a spiritual fight in the manner, then you really don't want them beside you because you don't want nothing happening to them or whatever. People can grow and learn, but at the same time, if they have spiritual openings, they can get affected by what's around. The deals that I face is a daily thing. Like I said, if your resurfaces up tonight, I'll make a recording. I'll go live so y'all can see what I'm talking about. That so y'all can witness for yourself. When people are too busy playing games, that there's a real spiritual warfare happening. It's been happening to me for 3 days straight. If it happens tonight, I will go outside and I will go live so you can see what I'm talking about. And whatever happens out there happens. But I know that I will place Jesus Christ first. And at the very end, I will come out victorious through Jesus Christ. Yes, I never stand alone. I'm saying people wise, right? People wise, that if I could find people that are spiritual ready to fight the good fight, I would have them fighting beside me, the good fight, the spiritual fight, right? But it's very hard right now because some people that some of them they know scripture real good, some of them they know the Bible back and forth, but I can't use them in spiritual battle when they're too busy fighting amongst each other. you know can use somebody like that to fight the unseen spiritual war of the 1/3 that has fallen, or the DDN, or the cults, the convents that are forming, uh, uniting because that's what they are about, to come up against it spiritually. I cannot use them in a combat environment, spiritual combat environment, because they'll be easy prey to those unseen forces. That's all I'm saying. But of course, I place Jesus Christ first daily, daily. But I think I've spoken here enough for tonight. God bless y'all and your families. Like I said, never be afraid, no matter what kind of manifestation is being taken. Um, do not anger. Maintain your love foundation. Find your inner peace. And use the spiritual gifts of discernment to overcome whatever comes at you in a spiritual way. You overcome it through Jesus Christ. Everybody have a beautiful, blessed evening, and God bless every single one of y'all. Peace.